As a continuation to the Omega logo polishing video, I decided to do a section to show quickly how the indices are removed and then reattached. As you see, I have my sterilized Omega dial at hand. And since this is sterilized, it's extremely loose as well. I'm also wondering myself how UV glue I'm going to use is going to perform too. So right now I'm going to pick the loosest in this and come back. So you have to find the hole and then poke it with a very slim needle. As you can, it is already dropped. Let's try to drop another one. So get in the needle. Right now, since I have the camera, I can get an easy angle. But yes, I found one needle, and I found another one too. So this one should be loose now as well. Let's see. As you see, it's almost dropped. And now one other gotcha is that now as you see the flux on these indices were naturally dislodged and they are very easy to dislodge. However, you kind of assume that the flux itself is the center. However, it is not. I mean, the exact hole is almost like camouflaged, and you actually don't need to scratch or remove these fluxes to a high degree. I mean, you can just scratch them a bit, but there is no need. And the important thing to remember is that the actual hole is very hidden in appearance, and I mean, just don't assume it's somewhere else and work on that location. It's generally very easy to uncover it, and maybe even without removing the flux, if you happen to find the right spot and push it with a needle, it easily gets removed. And just keep in mind that this already happens in the natural life cycle of these dials over the years. For example, constellation stars turn on their own, so it's already not like an extremely sturdy material. Basically, you can assume that they are friction fit into their locations. Now in the second section, I have the new UV glue that is more liquid, and I'm going to reattach that. This one, apply UV glue, show it, then cure the UV glue and see whether it's still easy to dislodge by my nail by touching it. To reattach it, you just have to get it into the holes and press with something safe like a plastic tweezer. And as you see, as another side information, the coating on these indices are actually paint, and they are peeling on one side. I didn't peel them off completely. It's just something to know about. I mean, if you touch the top surface, it might seem like a coating or brushing, but it's actually like a paint layer, so it's best to not touch it on actual dials. I mean, you can easily touch up if you happen to remove a spot, but for example, on these it's like half removed already. I basically boiled this tile, so even this state is pretty resilient for the paint. Anyway, just something to keep in mind. Applying the new UV glue. Again, since the spots are very hard to see, applying the glue is also not easy. I think the glue is only a bit thick, so I'm going to blow on it a bit. And just I'm going to remove this site. You can't easily actually see the holes without a loop. It's a bit challenging applying it to the right spot as well. Sometimes the flux misses the mark and the hole is in a different location as well. I think this thickness is good. I don't think if this was an actual file, this would interfere with anything. So right now I'm going to cure and come back. And by the way, while I'm still curing and on actual tiles, it's a good idea to use their original case and their crystal ring as a support. So basically I open the case back on the empty case and gently lift the dial with a cushion into the case and then turn the case around. So the dial and indices aren't actually touching anything. I don't like touching actual dial and actual indices. I don't think it should be done, because even though that they can resist these kind of touches, the surface coating, etc., can all get either tarnished or stained. So when you use the actual case, you kind of like imitate the actual way that the dial is supported by pressing onto the armor ring. So it's a uniform press if the armor ring is well placed as well. On actual CK styles, that's what I do if I have to work on the furniture, which is very rare actually. I mean, how many times did I do this? Maybe on 2 actual dials. But the one good takeaway from this is that if you see a watch with a problematic logo text, maybe turned star, these are all easy to fix issues, as you see. I mean, you can even replace a logo. Back in the day, when I saw rare dials, for example, I got hung up on these issues quite a bit. But right now it seems really unimportant after these revelations and tests. And also another thing to keep in mind is that on these dials, the indices are lightly coated, so they are not very resilient to polishing, etc. On the dial I polished the logo, it's actually solid gold. Just something else to keep in mind. This UV glue turned out to be very bad in my opinion, and it's almost like 4 minutes. I've been curing this and I touched it actually and it was still wet. So it's a good thing that I did this trial as well, because the curing time is extreme. Maybe it doesn't cure. I also ordered a new curing machine. It's more of an area thing, so I won't have to like hold like this and become impatient. I can just put the UV curer on and go away, come back 20 to 30 minutes later, so it's 100% or as close as it gets to being cured and going into the seams, etc. So it's something else to keep in mind. I mean, if you are doing anything related to this, a good UV glue and UV curing system seems like a good idea. And also as a reminder, Omega also attaches indices with UV resin now, so they are more impact resistant. So you can also think of this as an upgrade if it works. If there is an impact, supposedly these are more resistant since it's actually gelatinous, the UV resin. Previous one didn't cure. I think definitely needs the machine I ordered and it's around on Monday. Now it's Saturday. So there's a bit of waiting time. And in the meantime, I had this very old windscreen repaint racer. It's in ordered quite a while ago from China. So I decided to test this one as well, see how it responds. And this one is even more liquid than that one. Just unbelievable. And there is like poodle mm, around here, pool around here. But I haven't tested curing it yet. Maybe it will cure better and just form a maybe nice layer that will hold those two buttons there. So being liquid, I think in this application is a good thing. But how liquid is the question. I mean, I think this viscosity was better. It didn't get anywhere, but this one is definitely like oil, behaves like oil. But you can see it getting in those holes from the reflection. However, as you see, I almost had a spill danger here. It almost spilled and did it spill? Yes, it actually spilled as well, so this one is definitely dangerous. I will probably cure and clean here and use turpentine to clean the dial as well. And so this is going to mix into the dial cleaning episode too. This one can definitely be applied with a syringe. So if it turns out that it cures well, I think a syringe application with this one could be nice. But I mean, the spill is quite an extreme event, and I think this level of a spill is maybe hard to clean. I could give it a turpentine bath right now and clean it, but I think I'm going to keep it instead. So it definitely affected the experiment as well because I was going to test whether it's mm, holding the index in place, and right now it will definitely hold. I really don't like these liquid resins. They definitely don't cure like the regular. What was that? Mm, It's a Revel brand UV resin I was using originally. It cured fast and it was a very strong resin. It's made for on the airplanes and cars, etc. Plastic stuff. These definitely don't cure easily. I probably get that machine and leave these in the machine for an hour or something. However, the spill cleans somewhat well, so at least that wasn't an issue. And I cleaned it with this cheap cotton wool pad. And I guess when you see these cotton bud filaments on a dial and you see them a lot, uh, it's now a bigger reason to get worried because It always bothered me that someone would leave a filament like this on a constellation star, etc. You see them a lot. So I guess it's a sign of an experimental form of cleaning and someone who doesn't care what to dial enough to use these more expensive cotton buds.